Hi guys, it's Kim. It is Thursday, April the 25th, and I am just checking in from P4. I'm still just maintaining. This morning I weighed 3 pounds above LIW, which it's just fluctuated between 2 and 4 consistently. So I'm happy with that. I am still eating mostly low carb with some carbs here and there. I've been making homemade bread for my son because he likes to take sandwiches, and at least, you know, making the bread, I know what's in it. So usually when I bake that, I'll have a piece with some honey on it, raw honey. So here and there I am having some carbs, but mostly day to day I try to keep it low, and it's working pretty well. I've stabilized well and just hung right in there at the same weight. Even when I eat more carbs, like the last 2 weekends I've had pizza, and last weekend I had pizza and ice cream in the same night, and still, you know, didn't go above that window where I've pretty much stayed. So let's see, I wanted to just check in and mention I am still doing still working on the mug cake recipes. I think I have about 6 now on my blog. It's turning out to be a little harder than I thought, and I don't think I'll be able to get the 30 recipes in 30 days. I think maybe that was a little bit ambitious to think that I could do that. But I just, you know, continue to work on them. And one of the problems is, I guess I was confident I could figure out the recipes on the first try, and that hasn't happened for a couple times. But so sometimes I have to do them more than once, you know, and so it takes a couple days to get something right. The other thing is I haven't been very hungry. So usually I just eat 2 meals a day, and then I would fill in with a mug cake, you know, maybe if I got hungry in the evening or something. And I really haven't been very hungry, which I think has to do with something else I want to talk about. My experiment. I've been experimenting on myself this week. So since I haven't been hungry, you know, I haven't made one every day. There's been several days where I haven't made one. So anyway, you can check out my blog. I'll put the link below, and you can see the recipes that I do have, and I'm going to keep trying some new ones up until I go on my cruise and see how many I can get. And then after the cruise, I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to load, but it'll be pretty quick after I get back. I'm going to do probably about somewhere around 35 day round, so that I can go off and be in P3 for a trip that we have in July. So anyway, that's it on the mug cakes. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my experiment this week, which has to do with Tom. So I've always been very on the dot, 28 days for Tom, except for when I started HCG. So after my last round, well, let me back up. I had figured out that I was exactly on track to have Tom the week before we go on our cruise. So that was great. Well, then after my last round, it ended up, I guess, a week late. So when I was in P3, it was a week late. So that, of course, put me to be on schedule exactly for the cruise week. So I thought, well, you know, when I'm on P2, I don't get Tom, except, you know, if I skip. So I'm going to do a little experiment. I had about 4 syringes left of HCG. So starting last Saturday, I should have started on Sunday. So last Saturday I started giving myself, let's see, it's 50 IUs. So just a little tiny bit, 50 IUs a day, to see what would happen. Well, this is my 6th day, I guess, and I still have not started Tom. So far it's working. So I'm going to keep doing that until Sunday, and then hopefully Tom will come on Monday, and from there on out I'll be good, you know, because then it'll happen when I get back from the cruise. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. I know that doesn't work for everybody because a lot of people, when they're on P2, you know, have Tom every other week. So, but for me, it's worked so far. But I do think it is making me not hungry, which is funny because it's such a small amount. But I haven't really had much hunger this week. So it could be other things, but it could be the HCG. And I've also been monitoring my weight all this week because I wanted to make sure that, you know, eating normal while taking that small amount didn't cause me to gain weight, you know, like as if I was loading. And it hasn't. I've been, you know, steady and everything. So anyway, I'll let you know when I finish up if it actually works. But so far, so good. One other thing I wanted to mention was, I've been caught up on vlogs, so I have been watching some old ones of HHcgCraZy, Lori, which has been really encouraging. I know a lot of times once you're out of P2, you know, you start to get that feeling, at least I do, I start to get that feeling of, well, I really haven't come that far, you know, I really don't feel like I've lost that much, even though I've lost 40 pounds, you know, I really can't see a difference, you know, all those thoughts start creeping up when you're not in P2 and losing, and so sometimes being in P3 and P4 is just as hard because, you know, you get discouraged, you don't have that loss every day, and, you know, you start to doubt yourself or whatever. So I decided to go back and I just subscribed to Laurie like last summer, you know, when I started HCG. So she was already pretty much done with her journey at that point. And I had never watched the early vlogs. So it's been really great to go back to her first vlogs and see, oh my gosh, how far she came with HCG. And it's just so encouraging to know that, you know, if she can do that, then I can do that too. And, you know, I've come farther than I think, and, you know, I have no doubt that I can get to where I want to go with the HCG. So I would just encourage you, you know, if you get discouraged, go back and, you know, choose some of those longtime vloggers that have finished their journey and, you know, watch them start to finish. It's taken me a while. I mean, I've probably been watching for about a week now, and it's taken a while to get them all in, but go back and, you know, maybe like, oh, I'm trying to think of some others, like Mama Clock or, you know, Miss HCG Girl, if you have a lot of time to watch a lot of videos. Find somebody, you know, that can encourage you as well. And, yeah, that's it. So, 24 days till my cruise. And, yeah, that's all I got. So, talk to you later.